Okay. Satnam, aloha, everyone. And it looks like I'm live. Just let me check. Yes. We got some Mercury retrograde glitches. And let me just turn this off. And then I will. So look for me every Saturday around this time. Seems to be my flow. Okay. So a deep breath through the nostrils. And hold the breath and exhale. And again, inhale deeply. Suspend the breath and exhale. And one last time, inhale deeply. Suspend the breath and exhale and relax. Okay, I want to do that because we're talking about the mind today. And okay. Okay. So in terms of Mercury retrograde, which we're coming out of Mercury retrograde, let's just go over the dates a little bit here. We're going direct on September 16th, very, very soon. A lot of planets are in retrograde now, including 7, if you include Chiron. And this week, Venus will go direct. So means energy is very, very intense right now. Okay. So let's just talk about this 47. So you can see the natal chart here in the center, and this is the mandala, right? So you got about 6 gates that it passes through for every okay. Oh, is my sound okay? Okay. My sound should be okay. Tell me if my sound is okay. Test, 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 test. How's that? I know, Mercury retrograde, anyone? So true, eh? Okay. It looks like, just a sec, yada, yada, yeah. Am I okay? Can you hear me? Okay. Can somebody put something down there? I know, oh, there's a delay with Zoom, isn't there? Okay. Okay, great. Okay. Okay. So this is the mandala, right? So we go through about 6 gates for every zodiac sign, so 12 signs, and then 64 gates. So this is important right here. Okay, good. So there's the 47, and that's the ajna. You can see my crosshairs here. That's the ajna center. This is our own personal mind. So Mercury has been in this 47 a long time. It's been activating it since August 12th. So it goes from 47.1, 47.2, 47.3, 4, 5, and 6, and then it moves on to the next one. But because it's been retrograde, it's been going, back and forth. So it's been in there a long time. Okay, so it's there until September 2nd. So it's officially out of there now. Okay, but it's going to come back. It's going to come back. So it went retrograde. So Mercury activated 47 on August 12th. And then Mercury went retrograde August 24th, and it got to 47.6. So that's the very tippy top of the hexagram, right? And then it goes direct. Okay, so that's information right there. Mercury's already moved up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the 47, and then it went retrograde. And it's like, we're going over this again, right? We're going over this lesson again. And then it goes direct on September 16th, Mercury in itself. So Mercury moved into the 64. So you can see it goes down to the 64, right? It's traveling around the hexagram. Every planet is. And then it moved into the gate of confusion, which is up here in the crown chakra. So it just popped up there from September 3rd to the 8th, not very long. And then it goes into the 40, right? You can see the 40 there. from September 9th to the 21st, and then it moves into the 47, back into the 47 from September 27th to the 30th. And then it ends, of course, with 47.6 on September 30th. So the full moon, right? The full moon is on September 26, I think. Don't quote me on that. It's like around the end of September, but I noticed that it is in the 47.4. The moon is actually there. And then the sun moves in to the 47. I just want to get the dates out here. So the sun moves into the 47th on September 10th to the 15th, September 15th. So we're getting big lessons on this 47. And remember, I did the Sinead O'Connor reading. This kind of started it all out, right? So that was July. She died on July 26th. I think I did that in August. I'm not sure. You can go back and watch that reading, but you can see that she's got it on her unconscious side, 47.1, and her sun, unconscious sun, 47.2 in her Mercury, 47.4 in her Uranus, 47.2 in Pluto, and then bop over to her conscious Pluto, 47.4. So she was really impacted by this gate and this energy and this lifetime. It's all about karma. It's about ancestral karma. Okay, so here are the dates. So it would behoove us, wouldn't it, to look at this pattern. It's kind of really out there in neon lights for me. Okay, so it's coming off the ajna. So right away, you say, as soon as you see this, you say mental pressure. There's a mental pressure. And what's the pressure? Well, it's the gate of oppression, right? It's the gate of oppression. So this was just yesterday. I pulled the chart. So Mercury 47.1, gate of oppression. So spiritually, this is the mind trying to make sense of confusion and chaos out in the world. So we've all been impacted by this transit, right? Right way back to August 12th, right? We've been impacted by this transit. So this is the mind trying to make sense of confusion and chaos out in the world, what we're seeing. But the mind doesn't understand universal law of karma. And so it's experienced as oppression, the mind. And so what we're seeing out here with the 47, like let's take it to the spiritual foundation, is this is ancestral karma. It's about our past, right? So what's happening now for the age of Aquarius and the cross of the sleeping phoenix that starts in 2027 is our ancestral memories are releasing, right? So this is directly connected to the solar flares, solar activity, solar flares filled with information, spiritual information, the sun. We're solar beings, right? Penetrates the aura of the earth, penetrates our aura as humanity and your individual aura. And this in turn triggers the solar plexus mutation, right? And it also triggers the release of memory. What's holding memory is the electromagnetic field of the earth, and that's weakening the electromagnetic field. So these memories can start releasing, and you as an individual, they start releasing ancestral memories. So what we're seeing, because they say 90% of DNA is junk, there's only 10%. The scientists know everything, right? I'm saying that sarcastically. 10%, right, of the DNA, they have a use. And then the creator made, boo-boo, whoops, right, whoops. 90% of the DNA doesn't really do anything. It's just filler, right, for the body. Nothing is filler in our physical form. Everything is there for a purpose. Well, spiritually, the 90% of the DNA is our ancestral memory. It's a storehouse of our ancient memories. So what we've been conditioned to believe through the world that we lived in, which is ruled by ego, the Piscean age, the last 2,000 years ruled by ego, is all about isolation, right? Ego is all about isolation, individualism, and I'm independent and I do everything myself. And so we've forgotten that we're connected. We're all connected. We're all one. That's what all the spiritual paths teach at their essence. We're all one. And we're all connected to our ancestors, right? So there's not just one. You think there's just one in you, but there's 257 beings, right? This is the 7 generations of ancestors. So you're a product of this ancestral line. And we live in the oneness, which is the unified field. We're all connected. So energy can neither be created nor destroyed, right? The ancestral memory is in the unified field, and we're all connected to our ancestry. So there's the wounding that we have to, right? The ancestral wound is passed down, but then there's also the blessings and the gifts from our ancestors too. So this time is really, to me, the patterns are really showing us it's time to connect to our ancestors. And I even think of what's been happening on Maui, right? With the fires and in Lahaina, and Lahaina was the capital of the kingdom of Hawaii at one time. There's so much history, and the people there are starting to connect with their ancestors. They're drawing strength from their ancestors. So that's perfect for this pattern that we're in right now. And the same with you. There's strength to be drawn from your ancestors. You're not alone. You're not alone. Okay, so what's the confusion and the chaos then? Okay, well, everything is coming up to the surface, and then it gets broadcasted out, and it's experienced as events and circumstances out in the world. So this is what we're seeing out in the world as our ancestral memories coming to life. They're coming to life. So you may be in that yourself. Like, I can't believe this pickle I'm in, and I don't understand it. This is the shadow of oppression. I don't understand why this is happening, and I'm being strategic, and I'm doing things that worked in the past, and I'm taking advice from other people, and it's not working. I just feel this pressure, pressure, pressure. Well, chances are you're in ancestral karma right now, right? With this shadow of oppression, and your mind is trying to make sense of it, and it can't. So it's going to come internally. It will feel like that chaos and that, constriction and claustrophobia inside, and then what you're seeing out in the world. And then you got your mind interpreting it, making up a bunch of stories. And this is felt as oppression, right? And oppression in the external is we're being powered over, right? We're being powered over by some kind of external authority, right? So what we do now with this energy is we let it move through us, because what we're doing, why these ancestral memories are coming up, because it's the karma that's coming up, and it's not personal. It's coming up so that you can make different choices than your ancestors did. You're not going to make the same choices your ancestors did, because, right, out of fear. If it's karmic, it's going to be out of fear, and I'm isolated. And people, when they get into that state, make bad choices, right? And the 47 is connected to the 22 right here, right? The programming partner, remember, they come in twins. 47, the 22 coming off the solar plexus. That's the Akashic record. So everything is being recorded, right? Is recorded. So this is what's starting to release, so it can be purified, and we can make different choices. So you want to be always choosing truth, right? And the truth is you're a spiritual being having human experiences, and not to give your power over to the external, right? Not to make any choices from fear. You always want to be coming from your essence, which is love, right? It's coming from your heart. And so this is also showing us the nature of the mind. The mind is not there to keep us safe. The mind isn't there for us to make our decisions from, right? The mind is not our authority. This is the mental awareness system that's going away. Doesn't mean the mind's going to go away, but your relationship to your mind will change. It's starting to change. So Mercury retrogrades like amped up the mind big time, so that you could see this, because it's so overwhelming. The beauty of it is the mind is so overwhelming. You get to see it for what it is. It's insane, right? It's just insane, because the mind is trying to contain all of this energy and make sense of it, and make decisions from it, and it just can't, and it's going to get more and more overwhelmed, the mind. They've talked about this for the Aquarian age, right? So it's about the solar plexus, right? So what's going to keep your body safe is not your mind. Your body safe and alive is your immune system, basically, right? Your immune system. And what you navigate through life now is through your feeling. And this is the emotional awareness system that's coming online. And this is the second brain. There's a lot more neural pathways in that solar plexus and that second brain than there is in your mind. So this is what you can trust, right? Is your feelings, not your emotional reactions, but your feelings you can trust. This doesn't feel right to me. It's trusting your intuitive guidance, right? The solar plexus is a spirit awareness. So that's what we're seeing. It's just the release of these ancestral memories. That's why it can feel like deja vu sometimes, right? It's like maybe if you go deep into meditation, it's like, oh, there's a knowingness that I've been through something like this before, but you want to make different choices. We're in a spiritual test right now. So when you do this, because you're connected to your ancestral line through your DNA, and they're connected to you through their DNA on the other side in the unified field, is that you actually bless them by doing your own healing. And then they in turn can send you blessings back, right? Because it's all one. Okay, so what's the mind? What is that mind? Why do we have this mind? Well, if I didn't have my mind, I couldn't communicate to you right now, right? So it's for communication. It's for research and study, the mind. But the joke is, it's not for you. The mind isn't for you, right? It's for others. It's for other people to communicate with other humans. It's not for you, this mind. So a way to move out of this oppression, if you start to feel this heavy, like mental pressure, I've got to make sense of this. I need answers. I need them now, right? Is because you'll drive yourself crazy. Is to help other people, right? That's why we've got other humans on the planet, is we can get out of our own self and go help other people. And this in turn, because you'll be able to make sense, right? With the 47, you'll be, especially if you have it natally, too, you'll be, it won't be experienced as oppression as long as you go out and help others, but you'll be able to make sense for these other people. You'll be able to make sense for them, but not for yourself, right? Not for yourself. Yeah, so use your mind. If you don't use your mind, you'll experience oppression if you use your mind for yourself, but not the others. And remember, we're all about coming into the present moment. For the Chorus of the Sleeping Phoenix, the eternal now. That's where all your power is. Your spiritual power is there. And this is to move out of time. So how do you move out of time? Well, you move out of mind. Mind is time. Mind is always thinking about the past or the future, worrying about what's going to happen in the future. Reflecting on the past, I shoulda, coulda, done those kinds of thinking, and then immediately you're out of your power. So you've got to, it's a discipline. You have to catch yourself, right? And constantly bring yourself back into the present moment. We're living now moment by moment by moment. That's where all your power is. If you're in the mind, you're going to make mistakes left and right? This is going to incur a lot more karma. So it's really training yourself to get out of this strategy. I need to strategize life and back into the eternal now. Okay. What else did I had some things to say about that 47. The oppression, memories. So just to be, the point is, with human design and a lot of other spiritual paths, it's about being the observer of your mind If you're identified with your mind and you think that you're those thoughts in your mind, right? Because it's a foreign entity in a sense, right? That mind is discerning, Virgo, discerning what's me and what's that mind. It's when you get into that observer position, and that's why meditation and sadhana is a must right now. There's no negotiation. That's what's going to keep you in your center, and it's practice. That's all it is. Sadhana and meditation is practice. Oh, I'm going to practice being in the present moment for 11 minutes for my meditation. And then the real test is when I'm out in the world, can I keep holding this space as witnessing my mind and not getting pulled into the mind and all the stories and the horror stories, and not getting pulled into someone else's mind too, like watching mainstream news and other people's in their fear mongering, right? So that's the test. It's like to continually stay in your center and be able to witness the mind and not get caught up in it. So there's the mind going through the Rolodex, right? The ancestral memories are starting to release, but the mind's going to interpret it in a personal way to you, right? So it's the same energy, but it will pull back. It goes into the subconscious mind and pulls back memories from this personal life and then throws that stuff up, right? So the test is just to be able to sit back and just witness and be okay and stay in your center, stay with your feelings, your solar plexus, your internal self, and let the mind do its thing. And then clarity will come later. It always comes with time with the 47. It comes with time. But the origins are these ancestral memories, and you may have a sense of what that is, right, for you, what these ancestral memories are. Yeah, well, it's not. Saraswati says, mind useful tool or dangerous weapon. Yeah, well, it depends on your consciousness, right? If you are not, it's like a dog. That's the easy way to look at it. You know, when you go to the park and you got the dogs like walking the person, you know, those people, and they let the dog just go all over the place. So the dog's not disciplined at all, right? That's the dangerous weapon. You're letting your mind lead you. Go over there, look over there, let's go over there, let's go over there, you know? But when you take control, take your own authority. That's what it is. You take your own authority back. You're not giving your authority over to your mind, and your consciousness is true, right? The truth of who you are. This is my pet, and I'm in charge of my mind. I don't follow my dog. My dog follows me, right? My dog follows me. Okay, now I need my mind to communicate. Now I need my mind to research. You don't let it take charge of you, make your decisions for you, right? Yeah. And most of you are generators or manifesting generators, then trust your gut, right? Trust your gut. That's going to give you a correct answer, not your mind. Your mind will not give you a correct answer, but your gut will. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the natal chart, right? So hopefully everybody, you know, if you haven't got your chart yet, you can go down to the link. I always put it in the information box to get your free chart, because it's a really good idea to have your chart when you're watching this channel, because you're going to learn more about yourself. You're going to, oh, Michael, I've got that 47. I've got that whole channel, the channel of the abstract, right? I totally get that, right? I'm learning about myself, but also you're learning, because if you have the 64, then this is going to hook up, right? Or it has hooked up, the 4764. But remember, we're harnessing energy, right? We're harnessing energy. And we're still in that 4037, right? And that's the channel of community. So this is about work and the bargain. Who's not pulling their weight, right? Is there inequality in my relationships, right? Like really evaluating that right now. And this goes into the next one. on Monday. Sunday is 40.6. Okay, but let's go to this chart here. So the unconscious, that's the red side. This is to say connected to these ancestral patterns of the 47. Okay, so the red side and then the black side here. So the black side is all your dates, right? Your date of birth, your month, day, year, your location, right there, that's calculated. And then the red side is when the sun was 88 degrees before your natal sun. So that's when it's calculated. And this is called the design side. It's the unconscious side. This is your ancestral side right here. So why this creates a perfect tension for your life, right? And this too, the magnetic monopole, that's the second gate that keeps us in the illusion of separation, and it keeps the illusion of Maya going, okay? But we need these two sides here. So these are all your ancestral patterns here, right? So this is about 120 days or so after conception. That fits with the Kundalini Yoga, maybe off some days or two there. Okay, but that's when the soul commits to come in. The soul is not committed to entering the fetus, because the soul is looking at what karmic line should I incarnate through. You're incarnating through a karmic line, right? And it's like, okay, I'm going to choose this mother. So 120 days in, you incarnate through that mother, through that ancestral line. And meanwhile, you're not even committed as a soul, and all these patterns are getting laid down, right? And so you're unconscious to them, but you're here to transmute them, right, for your ancestral line. So it's very impersonal. So you have to take the impersonal route and not get into victim consciousness. Okay, so remember that with ancestral patterns, there's karma and wounds that we're all in right now, right? That pattern is saying that we are in a karmic swirl right now, and it's an ancestral karmic swirl, and it's not personal, and it comes with wounds. It comes with what you would call suffering, right? But it also comes with blessings and gifts. Okay, so really, really empower yourself and don't go into that victim consciousness, right? This is not personal. This is not personal. This is my work that I've committed to before I incarnated, right? So just to remind you that my ancestral healing webinar series is coming up, and this is the perfect time. And I didn't really even look at these patterns closely, but my intuition was saying to do this ancestral healing. So it's a validation of that we're in the right time to do this work. So we'll look at that according to your chart, So there'll be lots of like Kundalini Yoga meditations and guided meditations, and more about the DNA and more about the ancestral line, and to look specifically at what karmic patterns that you're here to transmute, and in what place in your life, so that you can really bring a laser focus to your work, your inner work, and to transmute this, right? With actively being proactive about it. Yeah, so keep that in mind. So that's going to be September. I'm not good with, I can't do math or numbers or anything when I'm doing these live streams. I think it's the 16th, September 16th, but all the information is on my website. Okay. Okay, what else did I want to say here? I think that's it. But you know what? I like looking at your comments below, and you'll notice I do answer your questions if you have questions, because I enjoy that too, especially when other people can read them, right, for answers. So if you have any questions about this 47 and the 64, that would be great. And then Mercury is moving into the 64, which is the gate of confusion next. So it's showing the mind, Mercury and the mind are showing us, don't look to us. Don't look to me. This is way above my pay grade. It's time for you to go within, right? And connect with this feeling your way through life, not thinking your way through life. Okay. So I'll talk to you soon. Sutton.